Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Alice and her sister were sitting by the river. Her sister was reading a book without pictures or conversations, which made Alice feel very bored. Suddenly, she saw a white rabbit wearing a vest running past. The white rabbit was talking to itself, seeming to be in a great hurry. Out of curiosity, Alice decided to follow it and eventually fell into a deep rabbit hole. Alice fell into the rabbit hole and found herself constantly falling in the marvelous tunnel. As she fell, she saw many strange things like maps and paintings hanging on the walls, and even a jar on a shelf. Finally, she gently landed on the ground and found herself in a hole filled with strange doors and locks. Alice looked around the hole and found a glass table with a small bottle on it labeled "Drink Me." She drank the liquid in the bottle and began to shrink to only a few inches tall, allowing her to pass through a small door into a beautiful garden. Alice entered the garden and found it full of various strange creatures and plants. She met talking flowers and a large caterpillar sitting on a giant mushroom, smoking a hookah. The caterpillar told Alice that eating one side of the mushroom would make her grow larger, while eating the other side would make her smaller. Following the caterpillar's advice, Alice ate a piece of the mushroom and began to grow larger. She had to carefully adjust the amount of mushroom she ate to ensure she didn't grow too big or too small. Eventually, she successfully returned to her normal size. Alice continued forward and met the Cheshire Cat, who always had a mysterious smile, gradually disappearing and reappearing. Alice encountered a mad tea party hosted by 3 individuals: the March Hare, the Dormouse, and the Mad Hatter. They constantly switched seats and had endless tea conversations, discussing various nonsensical questions. After the tea party, Alice continued on and came to the Queen's garden. The gardeners were painting the white roses red because they had mistakenly planted white roses. Alice met the Queen of Hearts, who had a bad temper and was always shouting off with their heads. The Queen of Hearts decided to have Alice participate in a croquet match. This match was very peculiar, using flamingos as mallets and hedgehogs as balls, and the field was irregular. The match was chaotic, with the Queen constantly changing the rules and announcing arbitrary punishments. After the croquet match, Alice met the Queen and the King. The King was very timid and always obeyed the Queen's orders. Alice was invited to a strange trial where the Knave of Hearts was accused of stealing the Queen's tarts. During the trial, Alice gradually became brave and began to rebut the Queen's unreasonable accusations. She loudly voiced her doubts and dissatisfaction, questioning the fairness of the entire trial. The Queen ordered the soldiers to seize Alice, but Alice's courage and wisdom allowed her to cleverly handle the situation. As Alice argued, the courtroom became more chaotic. The soldiers tried to seize Alice, but she quickly escaped from the courtroom. She ran through the garden, through the strange tunnel, and finally returned to the place where she had fallen into the rabbit hole. Finally, Alice returned to the place where she had initially fallen into the rabbit hole. She woke up and found herself still sitting by the river with her sister still reading. It turned out that it was all a dream, but the dream gave her a new understanding and perspective on the real world.